Better?
I think so. Hello guys. Well, as you know, one of my big goals, I had two goals in coming to Australia. One of them was to get myself an Australian cowboy hat, an abrua, is that what they're called?
A
kubra, and I got myself one of those on the first day here. My second goal in 3 years that I've been coming here is to discover or learn something or have some contact with the great giant the Gippsland Earthworm. And I'm so happy here to have actually found someone who is a biologist and a researcher and a teacher in this area who knows something about it. Could you give us your credentials and your name, please?
Dan Crow.
Dan Crow. Dr. Dan Crow. Dr. Crow, yes.
Dr. Dan Crow.
Researcher. If you don't mind telling your name on YouTube.
No, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. And Dr. Crow, what can you tell us about the Gippsland Earthworm?
Okay. It's not flash. I'll warn you that.
It's not flesh?
No,
flesh?
no.
The flash. Oh.
No, it's not a great story.
Any information,
okay,
yeah.
Right. Yeah. If they're found in South Gippsland, and my exposure to it was I was with a mate who does research. He studies insects.
My line, yes.
So your line.
I love insects. Spiders and insects.
Yeah, and so we're on this property, and it was boggy land, and we were looking for damselflies, I think.
Oh, really?
Like that. Yeah. And there's some species down here that he was interested in. I was actually just going surfing, to be honest.
Oh, really? No kidding. So you had your board and your research equipment.
Yeah, all that
together.
Sort of
stuff. That's the life. That's the life. And did you have any beers in a cooler?
Yeah, I think we did.
Life doesn't get any better. And so those of you who think science is boring, proof that is not true.
Exactly.
Right. Surfing, drinking, and doing fantastic critter research.
Yeah, and so we heard a squelching noise, and
squelching noise, like from under the ground, or
it's just
like something like that sound back there.
Yeah. See, that's not bad.
Nice timing.
Yeah, like that, and then And then if you sort of dig around, you can see a worm, and we didn't pull it all the way out, sort of thing.
It was actually poking out of the ground?
Well, you sort of dig out a bit, because it's boggy ground.
Right.
So, and you can see a worm, and then you try and pull it out, but you don't.
What is the diameters, like your finger? They're more long than they are thick, right?
Yeah,
They're not like giants in terms of girth.
Nah, they've got fangs.
No, yeah.
No.
And those who thought that scientists couldn't go to descriptive elements as well. There you go. That's it.
No, it didn't have fangs. Sorry.
They were very small fangs, right? But it had a stinger, right?
No.
Stinger and wings.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Stinger.
Yeah.
So are they similar to normal earthworms?
Yeah, it wasn't that amazing, to be honest.
Really?
Just a big worm.
Burning worm sticking out.
Big.
And if you didn't know that it was so long, you wouldn't think much of it just sticking out like that? You wouldn't think it was
well, I wouldn't have. I didn't think much of it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
But you knew what it was, you know?
Well, they said it was a giant worm, and so we thought,
World's largest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think so. I did some research. It turns out the number one largest is in this area, the Gippsland. The number two largest is in Japan, of all places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so every time I see them there. So did you... I know I asked you this question before and you couldn't give me an exact, but are they measured in inches or in centimeters, meters, or kilometers?
That'd be meters.
Meters, okay, right. So the kilometers would be the movie style in Japanese horror movies.
Yeah. Godzilla would have
right.
Yeah.
But they're very long and slender.
Yeah. And if you go to this place on the way to Phillip Island, there's a little giant earthworm nature park sort of thing. So you can crawl in there if you want to check them out. That's
good use of language. Crawl in there. Crawl in and slither around a little bit, squelch in, right?
Yeah, it's a bit slippery. So,
now, the question that everybody wants to know is, do they serve beer? Do they have a pub? The museum there.
This museum.
Probably not.
No, they definitely don't.
They're not that humorous. Yeah.
No. If this is, they're a bit dodgy, to be honest.
Okay. Really? Okay. Okay. Well, there's like some posters, kids' drawings and stuff like that. But just the fact that this is home to one of the... biology is fascinating. Both you and I'm an amateur biologist, you're a professional.
Don't go that far.
Well, you're a teacher and a researcher. This is the type, and I'm speaking to the young people. I have a lot of young kids who watch my channel. And I know that when I was in grade school, I didn't have a good impression of biology, the life sciences, or science in general. It wasn't until I got into university and my eyes were widened by some incredible teachers who showed me some amazing things that I discovered that the natural world was more fantastic than anything that could ever be in fiction. And this is just an example of it. There are worms meters long under our feet making squelching noises that sound like a beer tap.
Good point.
And you can discover them on your outing to go surfing, drink beer, or do some research.
In fact, I reckon that's the best way to come across nature. Is just not so much going to the zoo or the park. I like it better when you just go out bush and just walking through and you stumble across animals.
Could I borrow a term from the Aborigines of Australia to say finding nature through walkabout?
Yeah. It's a great way to do it, I reckon. Yeah.
That's right.
You see, it sort of means a bit more, I think, when you come across it that way.
For me, the best finds I've ever had have been accidental. My wife is she's even coached me to say, don't go looking for it, just go to the area where you think it might be and enjoy yourself and the happenstance upon things.
I was surfing out at Red Bluff, just down the road here, and a whale and its calf came cruising past, sort of thing, and that was fantastic.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and it was just a fluke sort of thing.
And you were in the water with them.
Yeah, and you're a bit nervous at first.
Good choice of words, a fluke thing.
You're picking up all.
You're just feeding them to us. You're just great. You're a natural at this. And so just to show you that those who think that biologists might lack of interesting language or a sense of humor. I mean, this is a very interesting man. We've been having a lunch together, enjoying a very interesting conversation. And I want to encourage anybody out there that might have even the slightest interest, you kids out there, the slightest interest in science or education or the world around you, astronomy, whatever it might be, even chemistry, things like that.
I'm a chemistry teacher. So
are you really?
Definitely chemistry.
Yeah. Well, when I took chemistry young on, to me it was all seemed like just symbols and equations and it was really hard to grasp. And then
if you go deep into biology, you've got to go into chemistry.
You run right into it.
Yeah.
Right.
So biochemistry is probably the ultimate. Just joining the two together. I reckon it's great.
Yeah, and it was exactly that. When a professor, again, the same professor, for me it was one man who kind of did everything for me. When he kind of keyed off that chemistry basically is the alphabet of everything that exists, the compounds, everything you can understand so much through it, and then leading on to there. Well, I see that our team is leaving, so we better sign off. Anyway, Doctor, I want to thank you very much for your time.
No worries, pleasure.
And for giving me, you've satisfied my curiosity of the Gippsland Earthworm. Thank you.
No, I reckon you've got to go and see one yet.
I will keep that up. Thank you so much.
Okay, cheers.
Bye-bye. Cheers.